Guys, welcome back to the Inspiring Soul Seat. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is the Inspiring Soul Seat. We have Mr. Fred Whitley from Soul of America Tours. We have Miss Tanya Hanna from the Inspire Foundation. We have a few guests who are logged in. And our special guest of the day, Miss Erin Brown. She was just sharing some great ideas with us about what are some positive advice that you can give to a middle school and high school student. So
Yes.
we're going to now continue with our interview. So,
Thank
Miss
you so
Brown,
much.
I know that you're involved in a lot of things, a lot of things. As you stated, you are also one of the directors on the Inspire Foundation. And I know you have some other entrepreneurial adventures and stuff that you're connected with. So please tell us about, I would say, all of your things that you're involved in.
And it is a lot. Oh, thank you once again for having me. And if I may, because I didn't really finish my thought when I was speaking about the beautiful thing of being in middle school and junior school and high school. And it's really that you were birthed with a superpower. You're different. You are different. That is your superpower. Do not ever fit anybody else's box, anybody else's mold. You figure out who, where, what, why, and you go for it because it is yours. It is your voice. You are important. And I would encourage you to explore it. And if you are in a space that's not encouraging you to do that, go ahead and find one, whether it is in sports and arts and music and civic organizations like Boys and Girls Club, Key Club, Girl Guides, Brownies, all of those things are there for you to help you grow. But when it comes now to what Erin is doing, so there are layers.
What is Erin doing?
There are layers to Erin. Okay, so there is Erin Brown Connects, Disability Advocacy and Inclusion Management. Yes, a long word. This is where, in my professional capacity as a disability inclusion consultant, we provide services that speaks to disability rights, disability justice, advocacy. Also in inclusion, disability inclusion, we speak to compliance, policies. We speak to strategies that you can use to make your spaces more accessible, your brands, trainings and workshops, right? So that's one level of Erin, a disability inclusion consultant. Then we have Erin Bionic Brown. Now, Erin Bionic Brown, I think, it's not only Beyonce who could have like ego or alter ego out there. She's
okay.
I'm Erin Bionic Brown, okay? And so for Erin Bionic Brown, that representation of myself comes through Paralympic development. So what is that? You've heard of the Olympics, you heard of Special Olympics. Now you're going to hear about the Paralympic Games. And this is a space, an international space where athletes from all around the world have different disabilities, physical disabilities, and they compete in different types of sports. So for me, because I've always been an athlete, I played volleyball in high school, track and field, sprinter, high jump. I continued to do this when I went off to school. It's just a part of me that I just refuse to give up, I'll say. And even in my leg being removed due to bone cancer, I now get to participate in sports using adaptive equipment. So I have prosthetics that I use. I have modified bikes that I use, but I am a paratriathlete. So that's running, swimming, and cycling. And I get to do that. And not only do I get to have fun in doing that, we now have our first para triathlete who went to Tokyo, who qualified in a Tokyo qualifier for the Paralympic Games in 2020, right?
Man.
And so the Bahamas is now on the map to have an adaptive athlete who has one remaining leg, who is an above the knee amputee, who is an athlete with a disability, who is absolutely different. But that is my superpower, right? And
Man.
so then we have Erin Brown, the mom, the nation builder, who is always ready to advocate and amplify voices that are about innovation, creativity, accessibility.
Mhm.
And then we kind of term that as the advocate. You will hear advocate a lot, disability advocate, human rights advocate. And so those three layers, those three pillars kind of make up who Erin Brown is.
Mhm.
Because at heart, I will always be an island gal. I love sun, sand, and sea. I'm solar powered. And so everything that I do kind of touch those three areas. And so the things that I'm doing, we're establishing the Bahamas Paralympic Committee, because why not? We have
Mhm.
para athletes here in the Bahamas, even if they don't know it yet. You know, access is absolutely important, and it's a human right that we all take for granted. Like I stated, when my leg was removed, my access kind of just disappeared. And I had no idea that was what would have happened, but that is the reality of a lot of our persons living with disability. So my purpose was shifted when my leg was removed to say, wait a minute, we're not going to continue in this fashion. And so my purpose is that broad shoulder. I can take a lot. There's not much that you can say to me that'll break me all the way down. I might have to pause for a minute. I might have to shift a bit more because I'm always about movement. But it's never going to take me out. And if you say no to me, I think no is such a great challenge. And I know in middle school, junior school, high school, that's all you hear. And like I said, no, don't do this. Don't do that. Don't say that. Don't be that. Guess what? Those no's are challenges for you to,
Mm.
one, assess what you have done, assess your actions. And was it something that benefited, or it was something that you grew into or grew of or from? Or was it something that you recognized, boy, when I did that, I really didn't get the result that I needed. And so I need to try again, but change
Mhm.
it, ask for help. That's what those no's means. And I know it don't feel that way when you hear it, but that is what those no's means. And so for me, a no is, okay, I can see you later. Because I'm going to figure out how I could change that no into a yes by learning more, by doing more, and by finding out what part did I play in it not working, or what part did I play did it work, because I want to do more of that, right? So yeah, I am the representation of you. Absolutely you. Everything you dream about, think about, all of the excuses that you told yourself that you just can't do it. There's no way I am unable to do it. I don't have the money. Nobody looks like me who's doing it. Everybody's telling me I'm not gonna do it.
Mhm.
Mm-mm. It's not true. Absolutely not true. Unless you buy into it, unless you agree with them and you decide that I'm just not going to do it. But if you recognize within yourself that I don't think that's right, then that is those times when you're going to find spaces that are going to help you grow and move within those spaces.
Oh wow. You shared something that me and my co-host was talking about just recently. He gave me a call and he was like, Brother Hannah, you are 2,000 calls away from a success story. Brother
Mm,
Fred, can you share a little bit on that for us?
Absolutely. When she talks about living your greatness and reaching out to others, we were just having that conversation about you're just a few calls away from making your dream happen. It just reaching out to people and not having that fear. I love that the Bahamas is now have Paralympics. You know, you took an inability to a capability, and so it's all in the mindset. You are capable, and so just simply reaching out to people. The Bible says, "Seek, knock, and ask. You have not because you ask not." And so sometimes you just got to get the numbers out there. And especially for Paralympics with disability and their advocates, you just have to seek it. People want to see people succeed, whether it's business, whether it's life, whether it's, and especially if you got a story that's a challenge, people will root for you. And so when people find out that you are trying to help yourself, they're really jumping in there. And so every year I participate in a fundraiser for Paralympics here in Nashville that raises funds for. So this is kind of dear and special to my heart. I've been blessed that I don't have a disability. Nobody immediately around me has a disability like that, but I still find the need, and it's in my heart to support that through volunteering and through fundraising. So you're absolutely right, brother. Inabilities can be turned to capabilities, and just ask 2,000. If that's not enough, go to 3,000. But I bet you'll probably get it at 500.
I'm telling you, he gave me that call. I said, what? 2,000? What challenge we about to be on? But it is so true. And just hearing your story, Ms. Brown, how you were able to take your adversity and you said, hey, this is the situation I was put in, but it's not going to be my box. You know, this is not going to be what's going to be back. You actually said, oh, this is going to be some reinforcement to push me forward. So I love it. I love it.
I love the fact that Fred said exactly what he said, because that is so powerful in so many ways when it comes to rejection and no's. And how many times do I have to fail to get it right conversations? My Paralympic journey was a no from the gate. I was told from everyone, you're just one person. Why should we fund that? Why are you important? Why is this important? And I remember hearing that. And I remember going, whoa, like that hurt me. That hurt me on a level that I didn't think that I could have been hurt, because it challenged my existence, right? It challenged all of what I've learned from history. Martin Luther King was one person. You know, Malcolm X was one person. All of these one persons. Rosa Parks was one person. Like all of these one persons who showed up with the support of allies, because allies are persons exactly what you spoke to, Fred. Persons who may not know anybody like you, don't know the situation you're dealing with, but they understand the assignment. They understood that you need support and you need help. And I'm going to do it the best way that I know how to, and maybe even learn something, network with something, become an advocate through that. And so for me, showing up in Wisconsin for the Tokyo Paralympic qualifying games, it was the first time the Bahamas Black Aquamarine and Gold was flown. It was the first time that an athlete had been classified as a Paralympian for the Bahamas as a paratriathlete. It was the first time that the name that was called was a Bahamian, and they stated from the Bahamas representing. Listen,
wow,
those moments, those one-person moments, that one-person moment who stuck in and said, yes, I'm different. Yes, I'm of value. Yes, you need to invest in me, represented not only a nation, a populace of people with disabilities who've always been told no, young people with disabilities who can't access programs like this, who can't access their real true potential, because we have viewed it as disability is a bad word, a bad thing. We really try to know. You are important, and your voices. And because I showed up in spaces where I didn't know anybody, I started to do a GoFundMe. I started to shoot out videos. I started to send those 2,000 emails out to people I've interacted with from time. I don't have any other Black woman with a disability, Bahamian woman, here living in the Bahamas to look to. So I had to make the decision to be that for myself and others. And in doing that, I showed up and got persons to invest in the Paralympic journey. And therefore now the Bahamas is going to reap that. Not me, because I'm still in the process of challenges of access for facilities for training. Is that going to stop me? No, it's not going to stop me, because I've proven time and time again, your one personness, your one voice, your one goal, your one dream is only a 2,000, 3,500 call away from reaching.
Man, as you were speaking, I was like, I have to pose a question to the audience. And it made me start thinking of like, I feel like all of us are just that one person would have an idea, but we're like, oh man, I can't do it because I'm just one person. But here you are saying, and I was that one person, but you kept pursuing, and you found people who then decided to say, hey, I want to be behind this one person. And it happened. So
Yeah.
I want to ask the audience to kind of think of what is something that's on your heart or something that's on your mind that you want to do it.
Yes.
And you were like, I don't at the time either have the resources or you feel you're not adequate. We just want to kind of tell y'all, even though you're just one person at this moment, to keep on pushing, keep on reaching out, keep on networking. Do like how Mr. Fred and Miss Brown has been saying, make those 2,000 calls. And I promise you, you're going to get an answer. You're going to get an answer.
And the good thing about social media, Troika, is you don't have to do 2,000 calls anymore. You do one video, you could get millions of persons viewing it and sharing it. And, you know, it could take one step, one brave step to show up and say, hi, world, this is me. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm working on. And the key thing is working on it. Working on it. Show, improve. Know that even in your lack of, you are filled and surrounded with opportunities that you haven't tapped into because you have not asked.
Because you have not asked. Oh, man. So we are again interviewing Miss Erin Brown, who's from Grand Bahama. She is in the Inspiring Soul seat. And our second to the last question for today, we wanted to know what are some projects you're currently working on, and if given the opportunity, what projects would you want to work on in the Bahamas and in the United States?
I absolutely love that question. And here's why. Yes, I live in the Bahamas, but I, as well as you, are global citizens. We live on the planet Earth. We live with persons that we've met, we haven't met, we've engaged, who are just like us, nothing like us, have lived experience like us, opportunities and desires like us around the world. We don't even speak the same language, but we are a global citizen. And so a lot of my projects that I found I've been working with in the Caribbean and internationally, I am absolutely moving into more national movement now. Because the Bahamas, the archipelago of 700 islands and keys, we have not gotten to a space where we're accustomed to one island or a person from one space impacting the whole archipelago. So one of my projects that we are moving forward in is disability inclusion programming. So as one of the board of directors for the Inspire Foundation, I love art. I love art. I love performing art. I love music. Can I share with you?
Oh, yes, please.
I have played the piano from I was 5. I grew up doing recitals and I've been in the choir. I told you that. So I love to sing. I'm also an artisan. I actually create stuff out of driftwood, conch shells, coconut bark. I can bedazzle absolutely anything with natural resources. Pink sand. I'm also a model. I'm also an actor. I also do voiceovers. I provide talent services or talent scout or bookings for talents with disabilities. This area of performing arts, entertainment, fashion, beauty is an area where I was able to thrive as a person with a disability. And so what is important for me is to make that connection in those spaces for everyone who comes into those spaces, right? Whether you are a non-disabled person or you are a person with a disability, whether you were born with that disability or you acquired one throughout life, accident, incident, medical diagnosis. For me, the projects that I tied myself into, and for right now, is right through the Inspire Foundation. So the programmings that we have, it's always about gearing and increasing the capacity of youth with disabilities to really tap into these spaces. Because there is so, do you ever really like watch The Voice and America's Got Talent? And then you see these talents with disabilities pop up and everybody is like, where did they come from? If these persons did not exist, right? They have exist. They're waiting for access and opportunities to get into programs where they can grow, when they could showcase their talents, and they could even teach us a thing or two, right? And so my projects are surrounded around disability inclusion strategies and increasing more access and inclusion and opportunities for for students, for men and women, migrants with disabilities to be an active participant inside of their space, wherever that is in the world. But what I wanted to really say to you, because speaking to you today, this inspiring soul seed kind of getting me little.
Hey.
You know, it's really have me really have some inner workings happening while I'm talking. Most recently, as of last year, November, I became the godmother of Royal Caribbean's Odyssey of the Sea. Now, what is that? Yes, you can be a godmother of a cruise ship. FYI, if you didn't know, because I had no idea that it was possible. So a godmother is a maritime industry. Maritime deals with all the bodies of waters, ships, cargo, anything that has to do with the movement on the water, or devices or equipments or facilities that provide shipping. That's the maritime industry, right? And in that industry, they have a tradition where they select a woman, a female from around the world, a small percentage of women. Why is it a small percentage? It's usually heads of states, which are prime ministers, MPs from different nations, or royalty. So Queen Elizabeth, Princess Diana, celebrities, Oprah Winfrey, those type of persons.
They didn't know Erin Brown was coming.
Until this island gal showed up, right? This one little island gal they can't get rid of. And so when I got the call that I was selected as the godmother for Royal Caribbean for Odyssey of the Sea, I sat there and I questioned myself, like, are you serious? Like y'all passed all them other islands, all them other places in the world, and you came to the Bahamas and you selected one from the Bahamas. Now, guess what? Me asking myself that question was normal to do. But when I asked that out loud, the responses that I got was, did you seriously just ask that question? Your journey, your value, your voice is way beyond you. And even though I didn't feel that way, even though every step that I've taken in life may have been because I had the desire to do so, and I was not going to allow anybody to tell me no, it tied in a whole nation and a whole group of people from around the world that has been underrepresented. So I became the first Bahamian godmother, as well as the first Black woman with a disability to receive this lifetime status. Because I'm going to be long and gone, and y'all going to look into history, and it's going to say
it's still going to be there.
Bionic Ground from the Bahamas, first Bahamian godmother and woman with a disability and paratriathlete to be a godmother. And so I like, yes, like round of applause. Okay? And I want to impress on you today. I want to impress on you today. Royal Caribbean is a global, international body brand. They were able to find me in the most smallest, unique, beautiful place on this earth to say, we see you, we will support you, and we are going to help you and persons with disabilities to engage more, to amplify their voices, to recognize that they are important. So I say to you today, when you asked me, what am I in? What is my program? I am prepared, purposely filled so to invest into programs. There has to be more training, because even living with a disability, we have to relearn our value. We have to relearn what it means to be in an accessible and inclusive space, but we also need more disability allies like yourselves who are living as a non-disabled individual who have no idea what we go through every day. And so that's why it was important for me, for the Inspire Foundation, to be a part of this type of programming, to be a part of area music class, and to ensure that persons see themselves in everything that they do, whether you live with a disability or you don't.
And
so
you just touched on something, because as you were saying that, I was just thinking of like this, just students and how they are in their classroom and they don't really see their value.
No.
And here is someone with a disability who's saying, who even has more of that on them, more of that burden.
Yes.
And it just amazes me of the strength that you have, to where it is about seeing the value in yourself first.
Yes.
And then once you're able to see that and accept that value, you're then able to augment yourself.
Yeah.
So,
and you have to accept yourself. My leg, having two legs, did not define me. Did I know that before getting the amputation? No, I didn't. I can honestly tell you that where would I have seen myself 10 years later as an amputee? I don't think I would have had a clue, because I've always been that person to advocate for the high risk, the low income, the marginalized groups of life, because I grew up in that as a child. I saw that. I saw my parents doing that. I saw that it's not only helpful, but it builds your character. I learned how to speak. I learned how to say, no, I don't like that. And this is why I don't like it. Not because my friends told me I shouldn't like it, or my parents said, say you don't like it. I was able to develop through accepting what I like, what I don't like, what I'm working towards, and learning how to advocate for it. And so in doing that, it is not something you're going to find on social media. Not enough likes and followers, not enough just reading and trying to act like a person or role model that you love and would love to be like. Because guess what they're going to tell you if you ever have a chance to speak to them? The best person is you. You. Everything that is you, you have to accept it. I accept that I'm an amputee. I accept that I am a parent with a disability, that my children, one who lives with a disability and one who doesn't, still see themselves in me as their mom. That was difficult for me to get to because society was valuing me that because you're a parent with a disability, should you even have kids? Should you even have a job? Should you even do all of these things? And then those questions make you think, well, should I just change? Maybe I should just change myself because, you know, society is telling me to change. Maybe I should. Oh, no. No, I am here to tell you, don't you change anything for anyone else.
Love that. Love that. Love that.
Accept yourself.
Love that. Oh, man. And I know that you're also going to be hosting an event on May 28th with Osano Neely. Would you care to share just a little bit about that?
Oh, listen, these type of benefit concerts, they are the core of me. And we are having a benefit concert and a CD release for Paul Hanna. And so it's called Paul Hanna and Friends. And if you have no idea who Paul Hanna is,
I'm trying to stay in the shadow of it right now.
If you have no idea who Paul and Tanya Hanna is, and I know you said, and let's take a last name.
I know, right?
They are the iconic, most grassroots foundation that music has been birthed here in the Bahamas and worldwide. They are the reason why you have an Osano Neely, why you have all of these artists that you are going to meet when you join us. We have Pamela Woods, we have Rashay Sands, vice versa. Now, I know y'all like to Google. So go ahead and Google some of these names because these are persons that not only decided to come together to raise funds for Paul Hanna, but they have come together to acknowledge the difference that Paul Hanna has put into our lives, has invested, has sacrificed, and who has embraced even his own, even his own ways of being. Because you're going to hear persons, oh, I don't like this or I don't like that, but guess what they can't take from you? Your talent. They can't take your authenticity, what you and who you really are, and the impact that you bring. So yes, it is Saturday, May 28th. It starts from 6 to 8 p.m. I'm not sure if we're going to be live because it is at Great Cliff. So if you intend to fly to the Bahamas, please do. Matter of fact, let us know if you're flying in so we can make sure meet up and connect with you. But it's going to be at Great Cliff. It's $50. I am hosting it with Osano Neely, who was one of the members of the Prodigy program, which is also an Inspire Foundation program. And I am so honored to even be in that space. I shared with Paul today. I'm a latecomer when it comes to all of the amazing things that he has done in music and in the industry of entertainment. I am a newcomer to experiencing him the way that I'm able to. And I am so honored. So I can imagine persons who've been there from the start. And so we get to give him his roses while he's here. And so if you can, please join us.
And he was just awarded
Yes,
alongside the late Sidney Poitier.
Sir Sidney Poitier.
Sidney, exactly.
Yeah. Yes, that was during Jazz Day. It was celebrating our pioneers, International Jazz Day 2022. Yes.
So we are here in the Inspiring Soul Seat. And Mr. Fred, how do you feel over there?
Man, I am so energized by the things Erin has said. When she talked about being a godmother to the ship, I got a couple of screens. I went to the Royal Caribbean, and I saw the legacy and the honor of being associated with being a godmother for the ship. And then her message touched me in such a way that it reminded me when I was a kid, because I know the Inspire Foundation and Aria School of Music and So You reaches kids. What I heard her say, I could apply it, is because growing up as a kid, I was worried about my height. I was worried about my forehead. You know, I was worried about, I see other kids who are worried about acne. And so when she talks about this, those things aren't as extreme by any means, but there are still mental blocks, and they can hold a kid back just as much as a amputee can be held back. And it's when you get over that I can't to I can, when you make impossible, I'm possible. And that's what I heard Erin saying. I heard her talking about making the word impossible become separating it, saying I'm possible. And that's what I got out of it today. I'm so inspired by what she has done, because if there's a kid listening with acne, if there's a kid listening thinking that your voice is too high, if there's a kid listening to thinking that maybe you can't play the piano as well as somebody else in the piano school can, I want you to know that you can. I believe that Erin, Troika, Miss Hannah, Mr. Hannah, all believe that you can. So Erin, thank you for your message today. It's going a long way with me, and some of your words I'm going to steal and reuse when I'm in the classroom teaching and when I'm with other kids with So Youth.
Please do. And I'd love to join. Let me know. So one of the things growing up I was constantly told was my nose was too big. Now I want you to look at my nice big island nose, my brown nose. Not only is my nose still big, but now it's big in Royal Caribbean. It's big in the newspaper. It's big in the commercials. Ain't nothing changed. My nose ain't changed. My nose ain't changed. It's all mine. And I think it has found the most beautiful face that it could have on this planet Earth. And so embracing those things that people throw at you, that you even throw at yourself, because we ain't got to wait for nobody else. Sometimes it's us having the conversation within ourselves. I want you to reach out to me. I want you to reach out to persons like Fred and Troika and Miss Tanya and Paul Hannah, and let them know. Ask questions. I'm on social media. Erin Brown Connects, Erin Bionic Brown. If you can't remember that, ErinBrownConnects.com, or even just Google Erin Brown, Bahamas, and you're going to find me. You are going to find me. Even if you forget anything today, know that. I love that statement. It's not impossible. It's I am possible. I am here for all of it.
I love it. I love it. And I think you tagged into our last piece of this interview, which is, what is a 10-second inspirational message that you could leave with our students, with the audience? Most of our, I would say, our audience base is students in the middle school and high school. So what would be a inspirational message that you could leave with them?
Dare to be different. You are the spice that spice needs.
I love that. I love that. I love it. I love it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for tuning in. We were with Erin Brown, true jewel, a jewel. She's the godmother of the new Royal, what is the Royal Odyssey?
Royal Odyssey Caribbean of the Sea. So if hold on now. So if you ever hop on a Royal Caribbean cruise that's Port Nassau, send me a message. I'll come and say hi.
Hey, I'm gonna do better than that. I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna do like one of those Instagram selfies. I'm gonna be posting it up saying, hey, I was on it. Oh man. So we want to just say thank you to all our sponsors, Soul of America Tours, Beats and Keys, Huffacker Real Estate, the Inspiring Foundation, Aaron Brown Connects. We thank you so much for being here. Speak Up Live, Maestro, Late Bloomer, and MP Home, and also Muse. We just want to say thank you. And to everybody, we want to say, remember, inspire and feel someone with the urge or ability to do or feel something, especially to do something creative.
Yes.
Thank you. And let me start.